Right, fellas, gonna have a little chat to you about my Tsurinoya rods, how I got into them, what I like about them. So let's start off with the first Tsurinoya rod I ever owned, which was the Dragon, and this is kind of, I think besides the Agile, this is the second cheapest rod they do. And I'm only gonna be talking about hollow tip rods today. I'm not gonna go into the trout rods and the solid tips right now because we'll be here forever. I know some people want longer videos, but it's just, yeah, man. Right, as I was saying, so the reason I got this rod, bought it from Jamie Needham, it's because I wanted to slate these sticks as much as I could. I couldn't believe that fishing rods at such a price and people saying such good things about them were actually as good as they are. So anyway, this is the 6.6, I would say, L, 662L, lure 2 to 10 grams, line 2 to 8 pounds. So when I first got it, first thing I was like scrutinizing this thing all over the place. But what I like about this is for like 50 quid, bro, it comes with a cork handle, which is always a nice thing. A really nice matte blank. And first thing I started looking at is the whipping around the eyes and the glue and the finishing off. Could not fault it, man. In the hand, really nice. It's comfortable. Tiny bit tip heavy. And believe me, I've done a video with this rod in the under 100 pound BFS setup, which I paired this with a Fishband GH100, I think. And I took it out on the canal a couple of times. You know, I wanted to give it a good go before I had an opinion about it. But I was immediately blown away with the reel on. It was still slightly tip heavy, but man, what a nice rod, man. And it's rated, pretty well rated, I must say. 2 to 10 is good. It will cost up 2 grams. Little whippy in the tip. But other than that, man, Fuji components. Finished off beautifully. You know, 10 guides, whereas a lot of the other more expensive rods, they're only coming with 9. You know, and the difference that makes is slightly more accuracy in casting, and also prevents line rub when you hook into a big fish on the blank. Not that I've ever lost a fish because of that, but my bum starts like puckering when I do hook into something really big, and I see that line actually bending past the blank on the fight. I put this through its paces, like I said, on a canal for big rainbow trout, and then I took it onto a small stream, which is where I found the only faults, which is not really the rod's fault, my fault. It's a bit long for the streams I fish. I mean, I usually fish 5 foot and down, just because the streams are so tight you can't really cast. And I think it's a little bit heavy for the applications I was using it for. So I was a bit unfair on it then, but I'll still use this rod, and I would highly recommend it to anybody, man. It's the Dragon QLC 662L. Then my it's a toss up between my 2 ultimate favorite solid tip sticks with Tsurinoya. One being the Agile, the other being the Kendo. So they're all 2-piece rods. The Kendo breaks closer to the handle, and I think that's what gives it a slight edge on sensitivity on the Agile, just because that breaks more in the middle. And there's some people that argue, oh, it doesn't make any difference. I've used solid 1-piece rods most of my life, you know, fishing bass tournaments, spending a lot of time on the water in South Africa and over here. And I notice a difference even still to this day, but not that much that it puts me off buying them, whereas before I'd avoid them. But technology is getting better, rod making is getting better, and they're closing that gap really quickly. Again, both these rods immaculately finished. I can't find fault with them. All Fuji components, all 10 guides. Let's start with the Agile. Right. First point, a lot of people are like, oh, isn't that wooden handle uncomfortable? Well, if you think about it, you know, I don't hold it like that in fish. I hold it like that. So there's minimal contact with my hand and the grip. You know, so I cup the casting reel. You know, I have my hand around there. That's how I fish. I have the butts up against my forearm. So it doesn't make any difference. What you can do, I took a scourer and just took the finish off. I mean, it starts coming back the more you use it because of sweat and stuff. And another thing I done, because it was slightly tip heavy even with the reel, I just added a £1 coin to the butt. By the way, I'm selling £1 coins at £5 each, so if anybody wants one, let me know. Great for weighting your rods. It fits perfectly in the little butt section there. The Agile, man, what a stick. I don't think I could beat this for fishing jigs or skirted jigs, as you guys call them. Texas rig plastics, things that need a bit of a oomph to really pop that hook through. I wouldn't feel comfortable fishing, although I would, but I use it for these applications. I would rather use something else. For, reaction baits, jerk baits, top waters, spinner baits, crank baits, just because it's quite a fast action and the blanket's got a lot of backbone. So, you're going to end up pulling the baits away from the fish and they're going to pull the hooks easier. But this stick, man, it's an absolute beast. So comfortable. It's a crisp rod, very crisp. And again, I'll stop saying now, but they're so well finished, these rods. The attention to detail on the whipping is just, man, it's something else. Let's move on to the Kendo, which, first, this was the 652L, okay? So it's rated 3 to 12 grams. I've fished 2 grams of this rod. It casts it accurately. Get that cover off. And I've gone up to about 12 grams, and it handles it fine, I like using this stick when I'm going for Zeds, and like I say, when I'm using, Texas rigs and things like that. Then the Agile, man, not the Agile, the Kendo. First of all, that beautiful purple highlights and the theme, stunning. Beautiful, nice cork handle, nice and comfortable. Again, I don't really feel it much because that's how I hold the rod when I'm fishing, not like that, or like that, What can I say about this stick? So this is the 652L, which is a 1/8 to 3 ounce. No, I'm not going to convert that right now. You guys can do that. But I really enjoy this rod because it's slightly slower than the Agile. It's still great for getting, popping the hook through plastics and using skirted jigs, etc. But it's also really good for reaction baits, the ones that I wouldn't really throw this on if I had both on the bank or on the boat. Phenomenal stick. Like I said, this one separates at the handle. Extremely sensitive. Just a beautiful rod, man. And honestly, the guys that know me and the guys who fish with me, I generally, if I have nothing good to say about something, I generally don't say anything at all. I only speak good about stuff, that I feel is worth the money. And man, the price point of these, I think this is the most expensive rod that Jamie does. $110, dude. Now, I own Fenwicks and MSX Limiteds and things like that, which, they're triple the price, quadruple the price. Is there a difference? Yeah, maybe a slight difference in the balance, but in performance-wise, man, I've banked so many fish with these rods. They're sturdy. The other thing I'm not worried about is if I do ping a rod, they're very easy to get a tip or something like that. These things are going to happen regardless of the brand. Some brands are just slightly crunchier than others, and they prefer being 2 pieces, 1 piece, or 3 piece than 2 piece. But that's just that's life, man. And you might get a blank that has a weak spot, or you might bump it against something you don't realize. For the money, you honestly cannot beat Tsurinoya sticks. I hope this helps you guys out, and dip your toes in the BFS. And I'll be doing another video on the lighter side of things, the solid tips, the trout rods that I have. And I'll keep you boys up to date. Till then,